naked sisters brawl at Disney World in Florida. A Florida man was arrested for trading vape pens to smell minors' feet. A man was arrested for throwing cookies at a gas station. And a Florida bank robber says God bless and sorry to everyone as he leaves with the cash. And a Florida man has changed thousands of billboards over 30 years. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News. And they're all out of Florida because on Friday, we do only weird news from Florida. It's Florida Fridays on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian, the only daily weird news podcast that does Florida Friday. Ha! That's my announcer voice from the 40s. A fight breaks out at Disney World in Florida between two naked sisters. A major brawl broke out at Disney World between a pair of drunken, naked sisters that culminated in the sisters throwing each other into the bushes after one of them slipped on the other one's vomit. Just a great time at Disney World, Florida, you know? This incident was reported on the Disney blog, WDWNT. I didn't even know Disney had a blog. Well, you need a place to report all of the crimes that go on your property, so this is perfect. I've covered so many crimes that have happened at Disney World, Florida. It's ridiculous. People bringing guns in. It's out of control. Go to Disney World at your own risk, guys. So the evening began with these sisters who are tourists from New Jersey. This is what happens when you mix Jersey with Florida. You get vomit. The sisters grabbed dinner at the Disney Springs Steakhouse. Can you imagine what that steak must cost? Everything at Disney costs like 100 times more than it costs in real life for some reason. Okay, so they had steak, and then they went to an Irish pub for some drinks. And then the sisters, age 29 and 31, were ready to go back to their hotel. But their phone died because they're Jersey sisters and they're wasted. Of course their phone died. So a lovely Disney security guard offered to help them by calling an Uber. The Uber driver arrived to take the sisters back to the hotel, but then, upon seeing the condition of these drunken Jersey girls, refused to take them. And I don't blame the Uber driver at all. Drunk Jersey girls are quite dangerous. You don't know what they're going to do to you or inside your vehicle. Vomit is a possibility. They may rob you. The Uber driver, concerned with safety, just left the scene. The security guard then called a taxi. This security guard's lovely, trying to just bring some equanimity to their world and get them back home. He could see that they probably needed to just lay down. While they were waiting for the taxi, the pair of sisters began arguing. The older sister called the younger sister a terrible mother, which could be true. She's from Jersey. And then she slapped her. That's not called for. In return, the younger sister allegedly punched the older sister. Police arrived at 12:40 a.m. to find the younger sister screaming and crying near Cirque du Soleil, which is steps from the watermelon and mango parking lots. Hilarious. They named the parking lots after fruit. She was naked, only in sandals, crying in the mango watermelon parking lot. The security guard was questioned and verified that the two drunk women were punching, slapping, and pulling each other's hair and rolling around in their own vomit in the mango watermelon parking lot like a trashy reality show. There's a quote here from the security guard regarding the younger sister's behavior at one point. She ran a few feet away and took off her dress, exposing her breasts. Shortly after, they began to punch each other again. It was quite shocking. I'm not paid enough for this. You know how much I get paid? It's ridiculous. And you know what? We have a vomit team that's going to come and clean up this vomit. You know what? They're not paid very much either. And they're very busy. This is Disney World in Florida, after all. There's vomit everywhere. The young women were questioned by police. The younger sister claimed that all she wanted to talk about was how she just didn't like her sister's boyfriend. So at the end, this is a story about caring. Two sisters that just give a damn about each other and want each other to have a good life. Sans vomit. A Florida man was arrested for trading vape pens in order to smell a minor's feet. A Florida guy allegedly offered vape pens to young girls in exchange for smelling their feet. Thankfully, he's in police custody. His name is Brandon. Brandon White, age 22, He's been arrested in, you know the county. Say it with me, guys. Pinellas, 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 Pinellas County. Yeah, the capital of degeneracy in Florida. Brandon's been arrested on multiple counts of, do you know the act? Lewd and lascivious. That's right. The all-popular Lewd and Lascivious Act, which is the official act of Florida, and the official act of Pinellas County, lewd and lasciviousness. White offered the victims vape devices in exchange for sex, as well as the foot sniffs, they say. They call them foot sniffs. It's a fetish, foot sniffing. It's not easy to get people to let you smell their feet. You got to give them vape pens. Detectives were investigating because they learned of some inappropriate behavior between White and a female, according to a statement. White allegedly asked to touch and smell the victim's feet in exchange for nicotine vapes and some marijuana products. Marijuana. Says here, Mr. White used Snapchat and Instagram to contact and discuss the details of these meetings. Can you imagine getting hit up by some stranger on Instagram asking to sniff your toes? That's outrageous. Stranger things have happened, though. I've been contacted by Nigerian princes who are in trouble, stranded on an island. They needed some money. I only sent a little. Bit. Now, Brandon was interviewed by detectives this week, and he admitted to meeting with multiple females. Unfortunately, they were all underage. White has been charged with 7 counts total of lewd and lascivious molestation, lewd and lascivious battery, lewd and lascivious conduct, and 2 counts of unlawful use of a two-way communications device. Now, just in case you have some doubts on whether or not Florida is the lewd and lascivious behavior capital of the country, we have some data by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement that say last year there were a total of 3,471 fondling offenses, including lewd or lascivious conduct. 625 arrests, included 106 juveniles and 519 adults. So a lot of lewd and lascivious data coming out of Pinellas County. A Florida man has been arrested for throwing cookies at a gas station after a tall fat boy. What is a tall fat boy? My guess is it's malt liquor. Let's find out. A Florida man has been arrested. The police say he became very unruly at a gas station and threw cookies in the store while he was drunk. Throwing cookies? What's wrong with you? This is Melbourne, Florida. The police responded to a Marathon gas station after a store worker said that a man named Alan was throwing cookies and trashing the counters at the gas station. When the police arrived, Alan was outside of the gas station, laying on the sidewalk near his motorcycle with bloodshot eyes and smelling of, you guessed it, alcohol. According to the police, the store clerk said that when Alan rode up to the gas station, entered, and then sat on the counter, he was told to get down. Get down off the counter. You don't walk into a gas station and sit on the counter. There's food on the counter. There's rules inside a gas station. Alan doesn't care about rules. He's a Florida man, drunk on his motorcycle. Let's just be thankful he's inside a gas station and not on the road where he could be killing innocent Florida citizens. Alan sat on the floor. So he did get down from the counter, pretty cooperative. But then he's not allowed to sit on the floor either because it's a gas station. He was asked to get up off the floor so the store employee could clean the floors, which leads me to believe he was on the floor for a little while. They were being very lenient with Alan. They're like, he could sit there, but we got to clean the floors at about 5. So if you could get up at 5, that's when they say the man, Alan, started throwing cookies across the store. Doesn't say what brand of cookies he was throwing. Cookies come in hard and soft varieties, so this could be a dangerous situation or it could be an innocent situation. If he's throwing some soft-baked cookies, it's not a problem. That's not going to hurt anybody. But, those Chips Ahoy, they're pretty dry and hard, I would say. The ones that crumble. They're not moist at all. One of those crumbly cookies could hurt if you were hit in the face or the eye. Come to think of it, Oreos are pretty hard. If you threw an Oreo really fast, you could probably do some damage with an Oreo. They have a very hard outer cookie shell. What about that Grandma's cookie brand? That's a large cookie, so a cookie with mass would probably hurt as well. They got these protein cookies. I don't know what's in those damn things, but they're heavy. You could probably knock somebody out with one of those protein cookies. I don't know where they're getting their source of protein, but it's like they injected a steak right in the middle of it. It's a pretty beefy cookie, by the way, is what I'm saying. Perhaps these were Girl Scout cookies that he was tossing across the gas station. This is Girl Scout cookie season. Is this a coincidence? We may never know. Allen was done throwing cookies around the gas station and exited the store, according to the report. He laid down on the sidewalk, and that's where the police found him when they arrived. Allen told the officer that he drank a, quote, tall fat boy, and then promptly failed a sobriety test performed at the scene. I'm not sure what a tall fat boy is. Let's Google tall fat boy. Hopefully I'm not going to get penis pictures with this. And that's not going to make me happy. Tall fat boy. Tall fat boy. Images. Maybe tall fat boy images. Oh, there's actually tall fat people in the images. Tall fat boy. This is kind of cruel of a search here. Man, is that Penn from Penn and Teller? What the hell? I guess they're calling him a tall fat boy. I can't find out what a tall fat boy is. Let me put booze, alcohol. Alcohol. Okay. Oh, they have reviews. Ooh, a tall fat boy. It's a Schlitz. Guys, a tall boy is a Schlitz. They still sell Schlitz? That's a quality beverage. This has got to be the official Floridaman beverage. Tall fat boys. Schlitz. Oh, hilarious. Oh my goodness, there's so many stories, starting with Florida man drinks a tall boy, and then Florida man drinks a tall boy, and then the official drink of Florida, Schlitz. Oh, I should reach out to them and have them sponsor the show. What do you guys think? A Florida bank robber apologized as he fled the scene. Police in Tampa, Florida, received a 911 call at approximately 10 a.m., from an employee at the 53rd Bank. The employee stated that a man came to the bank that day, presented a note while implying that he had a weapon on him, and said, quote, quickly fill it up, quick, 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 and also told the clerk, God bless you, and I'm really sorry, before fleeing the bank with an undisclosed amount of money. The police have a description of this man. He's described as a 30 to 40-year-old Hispanic man wearing a blue-gray hoodie, tan pants, and a COVID mask, and red shoes. They're not saying how polite he is. This is a very polite man. That's one of his, I would say, outstanding characteristics. We're looking for a man with a blue hoodie, red shoes, COVID mask, who's extremely polite. He may have just held you at gunpoint, but then complimented your hair and said he's very sorry, gave you a hug before fleeing the scene. This is a robber who cares about feelings, in other words. He also seems like a very religious man. He was saying, God bless, God bless. I'm about to rob your bank in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. If you have any information about this robbery, call Crime Stoppers, guys. 1-800-873-TIPS. In case you don't know that number. You should have that number on speed dial if you live in Florida, I would say. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A Florida man with a love for heights has changed thousands of billboards over 30 years. This is a very feel-good Florida story. Let's highlight a wonderful human being, a Floridian who's just made the world a better place. Lee Pounder. His name is Pounder. He hasn't been blessed with the best last name, but Lee Pounder has been swapping out billboard signs for about 3 decades and probably changed 10,000 signs over the years. Lee says it takes him about 45 minutes. And Lee really loves heights. He has no plans to retire anytime soon, Lee Pounder, this wonderful Florida man that changes billboards. He's found his calling in life. And like very few Floridians, his calling has nothing to do with drugs. Just trying to put up billboards. He loves it. The article says, have you ever been driving to work in the morning and noticed a billboard along the highway and it was different from the day before? Have you thought, who does that? Who gets up there and changes that sign? Well, if you live in most parts of Central Florida, there's a good chance it's Lee Pounders changing billboards. He's changed thousands of billboards over 30 years. He's quoted as saying, I'd say it's about 10,000. if not more. Yeah, I'd say that. Probably about that. Lee has built his business, Lee Signs Incorporated, on reliability and adaptability in an industry that's gone from painted signs to vinyl and now digital. Oh, Lee's getting digital, Lee Pounder. Lee works fast. He gets most billboard changes finished in about 45 minutes. People tell me all the time I'm a one-man army. Shoosh. Lee's fondness for heights came while working on top of oil rigs as a young man. It just turned me on, man. I think I've always been a daredevil. You know, speed has never been a problem. You know what I'm saying? I've been known to put the pedal to the metal a little bit. Hey, right after having a tall boy. Hey, it's Florida, baby. Just let it rip. Height has never been a problem for me. No, I'm into it. Even at age 64, retirement isn't even crossing the mind of Lee Pounder. Oh, yeah, no, not at all. I ain't retiring. I love working. I want to continue as long as I can, man. I'll put up these signs. If this just don't work out, man, you know, maybe if I retire, I'll just get in the porn industry. I got a name for porn. Lee Pounder. That's a good porn name. Yay! Now you're messing with a Florida man. Now you're messing with a Florida man. They got to change that song to Now You're Messing with a Florida Man. Thanks for joining me for Florida Friday, everybody. I hope I wowed you with some just lovely news from our favorite state. I gave you a little extra bonus story because one was so short. We're kind of short today, so I'm like, let me do an extra one for y'all. Lead you into the weekend, or maybe you just already had the weekend. I don't know. It's very possible that the weekend already passed you. Well, I hope it was good. I hope it's about to be good. Thank you for sending me Florida stories, those of you who did. I got a lot to my email, funnyjones@gmail.com. A couple of people submitted stories through the weirdafnews.com website as well. That's a good place to do it. I got a nice message on Instagram from Melikins. Melikins is a very lovely fan of Weird AF News who also happens to be living in Florida. And she sent me some video of her Tesla farting, which was absolutely amazing. The farts, by the way, from the Tesla, they sound very wet and disgusting. They're just gross. Really. Legit wet, gross fart. I was very impressed. She showed me some of the other sounds that the Tesla can make. Amazing. And then she showed me a light show. The car does a light show. This is such a cool car, man. It's more like a toy, right? I'd say. It's a toy that you can drive around. Very cool. Well, donate to Jonesy's Patreon. Maybe Jonesy can get a Tesla one day. Well, I got to get out of the closet first. Hey, we're just working with what we got, guys. Working with what we got. Trying to keep the bar kind of low. Now, I got an email from Amanda. She writes me, my first question, Jonesy, is where was the actual groom that was supposed to be there? This is about the Google Maps mix-up. Where was the groom initially? In any case, I can totally see this happening. When I was in Egypt, using Google Maps became a total disaster. It led me to so many weird places that I really didn't want to go to. Thanks for bringing us all the weirdness in the world. Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate you. Doesn't say where she's from, but shout out to Amanda, the lovely Amanda. She's referring to the story I did about the groom who arrived at the wrong wedding because Google Maps took him to the wrong spot. Just highlighting the problems with technology that we have. Yeah, but it's worth it. All the great shit that technology brings to our life. It's okay that once in a while you're going to have a little mix-up and Google Maps is going to make you walk into a volcano. That's okay, right? It's a good trade-off. I also want to take a moment to give thanks to a very special listener, fan of the show named Bob, Captain Bob Cohen. Captain Bob is a tremendous and a very funny character who emails me all the time and sends me stories and sends me gifts. And this week I received an amazing gift, homemade apple butter from Captain Bob. And I'm about to have some on. I wasn't sure what to eat it on, but someone told me that it goes good on crackers. So picking up some crackers from, the Trader Joe's around the corner. Going to try it on crackers. I'm not opposed to bread either, although I don't try to eat too much bread. I'm going to give that a try. Bob also sent me some cheese as well. This is all from Wisconsin. It's going to be some good shit, I can imagine. And I want to give Bob some love, and thank you so much for these treats. Absolutely. Made my week. Really did. If someone mails you homemade apple butter, that's going to be the best part of your week. So, Captain Bob, you are the best part of my week, and I love you. Lastly, I just want to remind everybody that you can support this show. Yes, you can. There's a way to do it, and it doesn't cost you very much at all. You can join the Patreon. Patreon.com/WeirdAFNews. And you can give Jonesy a very small donation a month, and that's a pretty good feeling that you'll get, first of all, because you're probably listening 5 days a week. And in addition to the feeling good, you'll also unlock a lot of additional Weird AF content that's within the Patreon, which is pretty cool. I put stuff in there all the time, and some of it's pretty fascinating. So if you like the show, you'll like what's in the Patreon. So maybe you want to check out the Patreon. Download the Patreon app and then look for Weird AF News. Or go to weirdafnews.com and click on the Patreon link. That's right. Do it. And in addition to doing that, please have a great weekend. All right? Say no to drugs. All right? Take a moment to reflect at everybody who's stuck living in Florida. Say a prayer for them. Say a prayer.